There was a question asked by W.E.B. Du Bois, one of the greatest thinkers of our time, and he said, "Who shall let this world be beautiful? Who shall let this world be beautiful?" And the answer is me. And the answer is you. We decide what conditions we will live in. You decide what conditions you will live in. There is more of us at the roots than there are at the top. Are you agreeing with me?
Yes.
The top cannot exist if it is not for the roots that make it strong. And it's time for us to recognize that there's something called the endogenous community. That would be us. That would be the people at the grassroots, the people in the villages, the people that are sitting out selling things, the people that you know that are at home, because see, you are the privileged few who have managed to make it to university. Am I right about it? There are hundreds and thousands of you who have not made it to this chair yet. But you are here, and you have a responsibility to recognize already that you are the leadership. But there is leadership at home. There is leadership in your neighborhood. There was leadership. Your mother is a leader. She helped you to learn things about yourself. But we forget about that as we move on. We forget where we learned our first lessons. We forget about the elders who taught us how to live by certain standards. These are the things that help make us as we move forward. When we think about leadership and being here at university, we have to start thinking differently about what those resources are. Now, I want to give you something to think about, young people. As my husband said, whenever there is a movement, a change, it comes from the strength of the youth. Because youth has the audacity to say, you know what, we are going to move forward. Now, I've read about some of the changes that your frustrations that you have. You have frustrations right here in this school, in this country, just like we do in the United States. But how can you take negative and turn it into a positive thing? Well, I'm going to give you a couple of ideas to start off with. In university, you have more resources here than you have any place else. Think of university as a large corporation where you have the power. There are people, for starters, we have this English department. I understand there are 8,000 people in the English department alone. Now think about it, if you decided, if everybody chipped in the equivalent to $1, I think, I don't have my language, well, somebody help me with $1 is called Sanson. Sanson. If you chipped in $1 each, that would equal 8,000 Sanson. You could take that money and bring together groups of people who are in your English department, people in the computer science department, people who know how to create television programming like cartoons, animation. Are you walking with me?
Sure.
You can bring these pieces together and buy time on television and create your own television programming for your own youth. You can do that. Nobody has to stop you. You can create your own advertising for yourselves. You have the ability, you know how to run computers, you know how to produce business cards, you know how to produce flyers. Together, you can create any kind of corporation that you want right now. You say there are no jobs, you can create them right now. You don't have to wait for somebody to lead you. You are the leaders that you've been waiting for. It's time for you to decide. Like in your community, you look around, and I hear people all the time talking about, I want to go to the U.S. I want to go to the U.S. For what? Do you know that there are 3 million young people who look just like you who are in prison in the U.S.? They don't tell you that on television because they are afraid of the power of black youth. I have just one more moment, I know, but I want to leave you with this idea. You are the solution. I want you to point to yourself and say, I am the solution. Point to yourself, I am the solution. Say it again. I am the solution. One more time. I am the solution. No one can take this power away from you. It is time for you to decide that we can. Now you spend $1 or 1 cent on a lot of junk. Go around and say, you know what, let's chip in and create something for ourselves. You can do this. Nobody can stop you. Be fierce. Stop using your energy to throw it away. You say people don't treat you right, start with yourself. Treat yourself like an individual who has power and authority. You are the leaders that you're looking for.